This lesson provides a comprehensive overview of core principles, foundational to expanding your understanding of the role and mission of the church. We will delve into the biblical use of the terms for church, highlighting the church's distinct differences from secular organizations. The discussion on the 7 pivotal aspects of administration will serve as the backbone for Unit 1, guiding our exploration and understanding of ecclesiastical management. The body of the lesson is intended to help you construct a biblical understanding of the terms used for the church. The word church carries rich and varied meanings, both in its historical context and its contemporary usage. Church derives from the Old English word "kyries," which in turn comes from the Greek kyriake, meaning of the Lord. The Greek word ecclesia, meaning called out assembly, is the biblical word for church. The terms for church have emerged to encompass several dimensions. The first of these denotes a place of worship. The most common understanding of church is as a building where Christians gather to worship. These structures can vary widely in size, architecture, and denomination, but typically serve as the central hub for community worship, prayer, and religious ceremonies. Church also refers to the Christian community, beyond the physical building. Church also refers to the collective body of Christians, locally, nationally, or globally. This usage underscores the idea of a spiritual family or fellowship, bound together by shared beliefs and practices. Church also refers to the institutional organization. Church can denote the organized body of clergy and administrative structures within various Christian denominations, such as the Roman Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, various Protestant denominations, and Baptists. Each of these institutions has its own governance, doctrines, and traditions. In theological terms, church often refers to the mystical body of Christ, which is believed to encompass all true believers, regardless of their denominational affiliations. This concept emphasizes the unity and universality of the Christian faith. Historically, the role and influence of the church have been significant. During the Middle Ages, the church was not only a spiritual authority, but also a powerful political and social institution. It played a central role in education, charity, and the arts. In contemporary society, the function of the church continues to develop. While the church remains a place for worship and community, many churches also engage in social justice initiatives, provide support services, and act as centers for cultural and social activities. The word church encapsulates a multifaceted concept that extends beyond a mere building to include a community of believers, an organized institution, and a profound spiritual entity. The Greek term ecclesia is pivotal in understanding the church's biblical role. This term is used for the church and is rich in historical and theological context. Ecclesia denotes more than just a gathering. Ecclesia represents a called-out assembly chosen for a divine purpose. Detailed exploration of this term will uncover layers of biblical intent and ecclesiastical function. Terminology referring to the church indicates the multifaceted roles of the ecclesia. The church is referred to as the bride. This role profoundly captures the church's intimate and covenantal relationship with Christ, a theme extensively prefigured in various Old Testament allegories and prophecies. These ancient texts anticipate the New Testament's revelation of the church as the bride, highlighting a spiritual union that is both sacred and divinely ordained. The imagery of the bride not only reflects the church's purity and dedication, but also underscores its role in preparing for the eternal communion with Christ. The church is also called the body of Christ, employing the metaphor of the body. This role emphasizes the intricate composition of the church, which consists of diverse members each possessing unique gifts and functions, yet united under one head, Christ. This concept is central to understanding the church's operational dynamics, where unity and diversity coexist harmoniously. The Apostle Paul's teachings particularly elucidate how each member's individual contribution fosters the collective strength and functionality of the church, advancing its mission on earth. The church is the army of the Lord. In this role, the church is envisioned as a disciplined and strategic army engaged in spiritual warfare. The biblical narratives and doctrines furnish this imagery with a rich backdrop, portraying the church as actively combating spiritual adversaries and evils. This militant aspect of the church is not only defensive, but also offensive, involving the proclamation of the gospel and the upholding of divine truth in a world rife with moral and spiritual challenges. The church is a spiritual building. As a spiritual building, the church represents a spiritual structure under continual construction, characterized by growth and interconnectedness among believers. Rooted in scriptural teachings, this metaphor extends beyond physical edifices to emphasize the developmental processes of spiritual edification and maturation. The apostolic foundation, with Christ as the cornerstone, ensures stability and coherence, guiding the church's expansion and the deepening of faith among its adherents. Each of these roles offers a distinct, yet interrelated perspective on the church's identity and function, reflecting the church's complexity and divine purpose in the world. Comparative analysis: secular versus Christian organizations. Understanding the distinctions between secular and Christian organizations requires a detailed examination of their purpose, services, products, manufacturing processes, and governance structures. This comparative analysis highlights the fundamental differences and unique characteristics of each type of organization. The purpose of secular and Christian organizations differ. Secular organizations primarily operate as for-profit entities. Their main objective is to generate profit for shareholders and stakeholders. These organizations are driven by financial goals, aiming to maximize revenue, market share, and overall business growth. In contrast, Christian organizations are intended to be non-profit entities with spiritual objectives. The church's primary mission is to fulfill religious and community-oriented goals rather than generating profit. These organizations aim to spread religious teachings, provide spiritual support, and contribute to the welfare of the community. The emphasis is on service, compassion, and living out their faith through their organizational activities. The church was never intended to be a money-making organization. The mission of the church is to win souls to Christ and to disciple those souls in the teachings of Jesus. The church offers different services than those offered by a secular organization. Secular corporations offer a wide range of services, including legal services, healthcare, education, financial services, and more. Their services are designed to meet the diverse needs of consumers and businesses, often focusing on efficiency, effectiveness, and customer satisfaction. Christian organizations, on the other hand, provide services that are ministry-focused. These services include proclamation of the gospel, pastoral care, religious education, charity work, community support programs, and other activities that serve the spiritual and physical needs of individuals and communities. Their goal is to embody the teachings of Christianity through acts of service and to support individuals in their spiritual journeys. Secular corporations produce different products than do spiritual organizations. Secular corporations produce a variety of consumer goods and entertainment products. These can range from everyday household items to high-tech gadgets, fashion, media, and more. The focus is on creating products that meet market demand, enhance consumer lifestyles, and generate profit. Christian organizations produce tools and resources aimed at spiritual and community enrichment. This includes religious literature, educational materials, devotional items, and other products designed to support and enhance religious practice and community life. The emphasis is on leading the way to Jesus, fostering spiritual growth, and building a sense of community among believers. Secular manufacturing is different from building spiritual relationships with God. The manufacturing processes of secular corporations are focused on producing industrial and consumer goods. These processes are often characterized by the large-scale production, efficiency, and innovation. The goal is to create high-quality products that meet consumer needs and preferences. In Christian organizations, the concept of manufacturing is more metaphorical, focusing on building spiritual relationships with God and transforming lives. This work involves creating environments and opportunities for spiritual development, such as church services, religious education, and community-building activities. The products of these efforts are spiritually enriched individuals and communities who live according to Christian principles. The governance of secular organizations is different from governance of the church. Secular corporations are governed by municipal, regional, and national laws and regulations. Their governance structures are designed to ensure compliance with legal standards, promote ethical business practices, and achieve business objectives. Corporate governance involves boards of directors, management teams, and various stakeholders working together to guide the organization. Christian organizations are governed by biblical doctrines and ethics. Their governance structures are deeply rooted in religious teachings and principles. Leadership within these organizations is often provided by clergy, church councils, and other religious or authorities who ensure that the organization's activities align with its spiritual mission and values. Decision-making processes are influenced by faith-based considerations, emphasizing integrity, compassion, and service. The following comparative framework underscores the distinct nature of secular versus Christian organizations. While secular corporations focus on profit generation and market-driven goals, Christian organizations prioritize spiritual objectives and community service. The integration of faith with practical administration in Christian organizations results in unique approaches to governance, service provision, and product creation. Understanding these differences is essential for appreciating the unique contributions of Christian organizations to society. This comparative framework is crucial for understanding how Christian organizations uniquely integrate faith with practical administration. Leadership roles and responsibilities within the church are uniquely constrained and guided by the teachings of the Lord. Leadership within the church extends beyond administrative duties to include spiritual oversight, pastoral care, and doctrinal integrity. Leaders are tasked with guiding their congregations in faith while managing day-to-day operations in alignment with biblical principles.